I walked into my childhood bedroom and found my sister wearing my wedding dress, practicing vows she'd never get to say. "My name is Sarah, and I thought I knew betrayal. I thought the worst thing that could happen was finding out your husband cheats. I was wrong. The worst thing is finding out he's been cheating with your sister since the day you said I do. Lisa was my maid of honor. My best friend. The person who held my hair back when I was sick, who helped me pick out that very wedding dress she was now parading around in. We shared everything growing up, clothes, secrets, dreams. I never imagined she'd want to share my husband too. It started with small things I should have noticed. Lisa suddenly became interested in CrossFit right after my husband Mark started going. She'd ask about his work schedule, his favorite restaurants, things that seemed innocent enough. Sisterly interest, I thought. I was happy they were getting along. Then there were the family dinners where they'd share inside jokes I didn't understand. The way she'd touch his arm when she laughed. How he'd light up when she walked into a room, the same way he used to light up for me. But I trusted them. Both of them. Completely. The truth hit me like a freight train on our third wedding anniversary. I came home early to surprise Mark with dinner. I heard voices upstairs. Laughter. I climbed the stairs slowly, thinking maybe Lisa had stopped by to help plan something special. I pushed open our bedroom door. They were tangled in our sheets. In the bed where I sleep every night. Where I'd dreamed of growing old with the man I loved. Lisa's head was on my pillow, her hair spread across the case I'd just washed that morning. Mark saw me first. His face went white. Lisa turned, and for a split second, I saw something in her eyes that made my blood freeze. Not shame. Not guilt. Satisfaction. "Sarah, I can explain," Mark stammered, reaching for his clothes. But Lisa just smiled. "Actually, Mark, maybe it's time she knew the truth." The truth. God, the truth was so much worse than I could have imagined. They'd been together since my bachelorette party. The night before my wedding, while I was getting drunk and celebrating my last night of freedom, they were in his apartment planning their future. My future. My life. "It just happened," Lisa said, sitting up in my bed like she owned it. "We connected in a way you two never did." Mark tried to stop her, but she kept going. "Every anniversary you've celebrated, every I love you he's whispered to you, he's been thinking of me. When you were on your honeymoon, he was texting me. When you thought he was working late, he was with me. 3 years. 3 years of lies. 3 years of playing house while my husband and sister played house behind my back. I ran. I got in my car and drove until I couldn't see through my tears anymore. I pulled over and screamed until my throat was raw. I felt like my entire life had been erased. Every happy memory was contaminated. Every moment of joy was built on lies. That night, I stayed in a hotel and cried until I had nothing left. But somewhere between the third box of tissues and my fourth cup of coffee, something shifted. The devastation transformed into something harder. Something sharper. Rage. They thought they'd won. They thought they'd destroyed me. But they'd made one crucial mistake. They underestimated who they were dealing with. See, I'm not just Mark's wife. I'm also the accountant who handles his business finances. The woman who has access to every account, every transaction, every dirty little secret of his construction company. And I'm the sister who knows exactly where Lisa keeps all her secrets. I started with Mark's business. Turns out, he'd been skimming money from client accounts to pay for his little love nest with Lisa. Expensive hotels, jewelry, vacations he told me were work trips. I had documentation for everything. One phone call to his biggest client. Another to the state licensing board. Mark's construction business died faster than our marriage had. But Lisa? Lisa required something more personal. Remember that wedding dress she was wearing? It wasn't just any dress. It was our grandmother's. The one thing she'd always wanted, the one thing I'd promised she could wear at her own wedding someday. The dress she was now defiling with her betrayal. I called her ex-boyfriend Jake. The one she'd cheated on and dumped right before my wedding. Funny how patterns repeat themselves. I told him everything. About Mark, about the affair, about how she'd been lying to everyone for 3 years. Jake was more than happy to help with my plan. Lisa worked at an upscale boutique downtown. Very image-conscious clientele. Very gossip-prone social circles. Jake still had friends who shopped there regularly. Within a week, everyone in her professional and social circle knew exactly what kind of person Lisa really was. The woman who slept with her sister's husband. The woman who wore her sister's wedding dress while betraying everything that dress represented. Her boss fired her. Her friends stopped calling. Her social media became a wasteland of judgment and disgust. But the real justice came from Mark himself. See, men like Mark are cowards. When his business collapsed and his reputation crumbled, he needed someone to blame. Someone to take his anger out on. That someone was Lisa. I heard through mutual friends that he'd left her. Packed up and moved across the country, leaving her with nothing but debt and destroyed relationships. The love of her life, the man she'd sacrificed everything for, abandoned her the moment things got difficult. The divorce was swift. I kept the house, got half of what remained of his assets, and walked away with my dignity intact. Mark tried to come crawling back when he realized what he'd lost, but I'd already changed the locks and my phone number. Lisa tried to apologize months later. She showed up at my door crying, begging for forgiveness, claiming Mark had manipulated her. That she'd made a mistake. That she missed her sister. I looked at her through the peephole and walked away. Some bridges aren't meant to be rebuilt. Here's what I learned from this nightmare: betrayal reveals people's true character. Not just the betrayers, but everyone around them. You discover who you can really trust when your world falls apart. More importantly, I learned that revenge isn't about destruction. It's about consequences. It's about making sure that people who hurt others face the results of their choices. Mark and Lisa thought they were so clever, so careful. They thought they could have their affair and their perfect life too. They learned the hard way that actions have consequences. I'm rebuilding my life now, stronger and wiser than before. I surround myself with people who understand loyalty, who know the difference between love and lies. Some days I still feel the sting of their betrayal. But mostly, I feel grateful. Grateful that I discovered the truth. Grateful that I had the strength to fight back. Grateful that I'm no longer living a lie. Have you experienced something like this? Tell me in the comments.